Today I'm checking out the DREO Smart Humidifier. This is the type of product that doesn't really come to mind when you're building a smart home, but that I think has a lot to offer. Let's check it out. This video is sponsored by DREO, so thank you to them for sending this out for me to take a look at. My first impression after opening this up was how much I actually like the design of this humidifier. I feel like humidifiers in general are these weird bulbous shapes that don't look very good. Sometimes they have blue plastic for the water basin, and just overall they're kind of ugly. This one, on the other hand, is a lot more sleek. It looks very modern and it blends in very well with the theme of my office. I wouldn't say it looks out of place at all. As far as the design goes on this product, I think the first thing that catches your eye is right on the center of it, you have this black circle, and this acts like a little control center for the humidifier. So it is a touch screen, and it actually has a small screen built into it that visually displays the humidity level in the room at all times. I think that's pretty nice because you have a constant indicator to let you know whether or not your humidity is correct in the room. And on the edges of this circle, you have 5 different controls that you can use to adjust the device. So from left to right, you have mist level, automatic mode, the power button, a timer button, and also a light button that turns the lights off on the device. And when I say the lights on this device, I'm not just referring to the screen, because there's actually an ambient LED built into the water basin that makes the whole thing kind of glow. And I think that this looks very nice. Obviously, it looks really good without the light on, but with the light on, it adds even more to the aesthetic, especially when it's dark out and you add a little bit of glow to the room. But what's nice about this LED is that it's not only aesthetic, it actually has a function to it as well. It actually has 3 different colors that it can set to depending on the humidity level in your room. So when the humidity is too low, it will glow orange. If it's too high, it will be blue. And when it's in that middle zone where it's just right, it has a nice ambient green color. Now moving up to the top of the device, this is another area where there's a pretty big difference between this and other humidifiers, and that is with the mist outlet. It has a 4-inch wide outlet that sprays the mist in a kind of horizontal line instead of a single dot like most humidifiers, and with that you actually get a lot more mist out at a time. So not only does that wall of mist look really cool, but it pumps more humidity into the room faster, so it adds some pretty quick relief if you have a dry room. Plus, the water tank holds 6 liters of water at a time, so it's a very large reservoir that you should not have to change out very frequently. When you do need to change it out, another nice little feature is that it is a top fill humidifier. So you don't have to take the basin off every time to fill it, you can just take the lid right off and pour water directly into it. And according to DREO, these 6 liters of water can last up to 60 hours of continuous runtime. As far as other specs go, this thing is noticeably quiet too. It only goes up to 28 decibels, so I've never even really heard it in testing it or while I'm working in the office. It definitely does not emit any noticeable sound. And due to the high water capacity and that large mist outlet at the top, this thing can actually cover up to 500 square feet. So you can put it in a fairly big room and humidify all of it. Lastly, there is also a nice feature that's kind of hidden away on the back of the device in this little compartment. This is actually an aromatherapy or essential oils tray. So if you want to add some scent into a room, you can just drop the oil directly onto the little sponge in this compartment and the humidifier will do it for you. Now let's take a look at the different modes and smart aspects of this humidifier. Firstly, I really like the auto mode because it kind of eliminates the guesswork from humidifiers. A lot of times with previous humidifiers, I never really knew what setting to put it on. Most of them have a low, medium, and high output, but using those, I never really knew what the humidity level was or how much I needed to add to the room. And I didn't want to add too much or too little. With the DREO humidifier, you do not have to worry about that because you can set it to auto, which just lets you choose the percentage of humidity you want in the room, and it will automatically maintain that within 5%. Now this does still have a manual mode, like I said before, with low, medium, or high output, so you can choose to do it that way as well. And otherwise, the other mode is called sleep mode. This mode actually makes the motor run at a quieter decibel level, and it turns off the lights and screen, and it turns off the sound that plays when you control the device. So this is perfect if you have it in a room that you're sleeping in, so it does not interfere at all. Now as far as the smart app controls go, I did want to mention that I've actually used the DREO app before. I actually purchased 3 of their tower fans when I moved into my new apartment recently, and right after I bought those is when DREO reached out to me to sponsor a video, which is pretty crazy, but all that to say is that I've used this app before and I really like the DREO app. It's just really well built. A lot of smart products, especially if it's from a brand that you don't know, can have kind of clunky apps that don't work very well. This one is designed in more of an Apple type atmosphere, so it works very well. It's very sleek and minimal, and it gives you a very easy way to control all of your DREO devices. So for example, with the humidifier, you can use the app to turn it on or off, adjust whatever mode you put it in, and you can use it to adjust the ambient light threshold. So at its default, the humidifier will consider anything under 30% humidity to be low, which is when the light turns orange, and it considers anything above 60% to be high humidity, which is when it glows blue. If you don't want to use those percentages, it's completely customizable, and you just use this little slider to adjust either side of it. Other than that, the app does also have functions to schedule the humidifier if you want it to turn on or off at the same time every day, or put it on a timer, like if you want it to run for an hour and then turn off. And the app does actually visualize the humidity level in your room over time. And this is a really cool feature because it can show you hour by hour or day by day for the last month what the humidity level was in your room. So you can kind of see a trend over time if it's high or low at certain times, and then schedule it accordingly. Now obviously, since this is a smart product, you are not limited to just app controls. They do also have integrations with Amazon Alexa and Google Home. So if you prefer not to use your phone at all, you can just tell Alexa or Google to turn it on or off. One more side note, and this kind of goes alongside the app being so well built, they also have some very nice interactive widgets on iOS. So you can add these to your home screen to control the humidifier without even having to open the app. Adding a smart humidifier to a smart home is probably not on the forefront of many people's minds, but this is something that I think a lot of people could benefit from, and especially with this DREO humidifier, it works very well, it's very high quality, it has a very nice look to it, and again, the app is very functional. So this is a great way to add more tech into your home that could also benefit your health. Again, in my experience, before DREO even sponsored me, I was very impressed by the quality of their products, and this one is no different. So if you want to check this out, I will have affiliate links below. Thank you very much to DREO for sponsoring this video, and thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.